You've probably seen this game changer in home decor everywhere, from YouTube home tours to Instagram posts to Facebook ads. I'm talking about the Ruggable rug. However, does it actually last? Is it actually as easy to clean in that washing machine as they claim? I'm gonna share exactly how to clean a Ruggable rug, plus my honest review after using them for over a year in today's video. As you know, I'm a huge fan of budget-friendly home decor solutions, so it did take me quite a long time to warm up to the idea of Ruggable rugs because they are on the pricey side. I will link my favorites down in the description box below so you can check them out. They do go on sale quite often, however, so the ones that I've purchased solely on sale. Here's how Ruggable rugs work. They come with two components. So there is the underlay pad and then there's the rug topper. The underlay pad is a rubbery black kind of sticky material that is thicker. The topper pad, they have a couple different varieties. I just have the classic one that's sort of like a velour type fabric almost that comes with your pattern. The topper or the cover is the washable portion of the rug pairing, and the bottom is the non-slip mat. These two components come together to create that cleanable, washable rug. Plus, you can just buy the one anti-slip mat and then swap the toppers for different seasons. So I did this actually with the runner in our kitchen. I bought a Christmas topper and then I have my everyday neutral topper for any season of the year. So that way you don't have to do as much of a financial commitment every time you want to buy a different topper for the rug. You can skip the non-slip mat and just buy the topper on its own. The first step to cleaning a Ruggable rug is to remove the top from the anti-slip mat. Take it outside, give it a good shake, get up all that loose dirt and debris. Alternatively, you can vacuum the dirt and debris off. And I usually do this when I'm cleaning my kitchen. However, Ruggable doesn't recommend vacuuming it too much. It's much better to shake it because you don't want to damage the fibers over time. Next, put that cover in your machine washer. You want to make sure that the pattern side is out. That's going to clean it the best. And then you want to use a nice mild laundry detergent. I just use this eco-friendly lavender scented detergent, but just use something that doesn't have any bleach in it. That's really important. Don't use any bleach. Now you're going to wash it in your machine on the delicate cycle or the gentle cycle. Just make sure that you're washing it with cold water, and that's going to ensure that your rug lasts the longest. Once the washing is complete, you can hang your Ruggable rug to dry. I just hang it over my railing. You can also machine dry it. However, to prolong its life, it is recommended to air dry the rug instead. If you're drying it in your machine dryer, just make sure to use the cool setting. Don't dry it on the hot setting. Will an 8x10 rug fit in the washing machine? Will it fit in the dryer? For me, probably not. The biggest rug that I have is a 6x9 rug at our tiny lake house. Honestly, for me, that's the biggest size that I would ever get in Ruggable rugs. To me, it doesn't make sense to get anything bigger because it's really hard to smush that into a standard size washing machine. So here is a 9x6 rug from our tiny lake house rental, and it's in a very small washer. As you can see, it just barely fits, so I wouldn't go any bigger than this. Ruggable does have a chart on their website sharing exactly how big of a rug you can fit into your machine dependent on the cubic foot size of your machine, so I will link that down in the description box below if you're interested. But for my machines, I have the standard size LG machines. I can barely squish the 5x7, the 6x9 in there, so that's the biggest I would go. My favorite size of Ruggable rugs are the runners. Those just make the most sense to me because they fit in the washer really easily, so I know they clean really well. Plus, those are the ones that get used the most in my home, in my kitchen, and in my hallway. So I did actually just recently purchase a new one for my hallway here. The one here is about 5 years old and it's just showing a lot of wear and tear. It just gets so much use with all the muddy shoes, all the different seasons, the boots, everything. So I am going to put that away, and I got this beautiful runner. I will link it down in the description box below. How long does a Ruggable rug take to air dry? Completely depends on the size of the rug and the conditions in your room, whether it's hot, cold, humid, dry. It's usually going to be around 2 days, but again, dependent on the conditions in your home. How often do they need to be cleaned? I put mine in the wash about once a month or so. However, again, that's going to really depend on how much use your rug gets in your home. And you can spot clean it between washings. I just use a microfiber cloth and some dish soap. That's pretty much the safest. You could also use the cloth, some water, and some mild laundry detergent. That combo, or the dish soap combo, usually gets most stains and spills out of the rug in between washings. If you do get a stain on your rug, how do you treat it? Again, water, Dawn dish soap's great, and a microfiber cloth, water, laundry detergent, microfiber cloth, and blot that stain. Don't rub it in, blot it, and that's going to help it lift out. Then after treating the stain, you can rinse that area with some nice cold water, and then you can throw the whole cover in the wash. How do you remove odors from your Ruggable rug? You can put about half a cup of vinegar in with your wash when you are washing your rug. If you find that it gets kind of stinky from pets or smoke or whatever, usually that vinegar is a great odor neutralizer, and adding that to your wash is going to do the trick. I personally don't recommend using vinegar in your washing machine that much because it can wear away at the components of the washing machine, so only do that if you absolutely have to. If you want to clean the pad underneath, you can simply vacuum any of that loose dirt and debris off of that mat. You can also wipe it with a cloth to get rid of any spills. Just make sure to not put this lower mat, this non-slip pad, in the washing machine because it can ruin the integrity of the pad. So here's my honest review after using several Ruggable rugs in our vacation rental for over a year, plus in our home for about a year. Our vacation rental is pet friendly and kid friendly, and in our own home we have kids, we're very busy, so lots goes on. We have lots of spills on these, and I wash them quite often. I love the peace of mind that I have when I think that I can easily remove the cover and throw it in the wash. If we have friends over or if there's a gathering, I truly don't care if we're all in the kitchen and there's some food spilled on the rug. Doesn't matter. I love that peace of mind. I've also found over the year that the covers have remained bright and they look great and they still look nice and smooth. Here is my Ruggable from 1 year ago, and here is the one that I just put down and purchased recently. So I think that's pretty good. Old and new. I've personally also had no issues with that non-slip pad moving on my floors. I've heard of people having this issue. I don't know if it's the type of floor that I have. So in my home here, I have laminate flooring. In our tiny lake house, I have vinyl plank flooring. Maybe if you have a more slippery tile or something, maybe you'll have that problem. But for me, with those two types of flooring, I haven't experienced that slipping issue. Another issue that I've heard people have with their Ruggables that I haven't experienced is not being able to get the topper on the bottom smoothly, just having lots of wrinkles and having it off center. I haven't had that problem. What I like to do is when I take my Ruggable topper out of the dryer or when it's done hanging to dry, I just roll it up and then I put the end on my bottom layer and then just unroll it and kind of smooth with my hand as I go. And then usually if there's any bubbles or ripples, I can smooth that after with my hand and kind of lift things up a little bit, put them back down. However, like I said, I only use the smaller size. So the runners are the ones I use the most, and those are probably the easiest to put back together. And then the biggest ones I have are 6x9 at the tiny lake house. I don't think I would ever buy a larger size because it probably would be not only harder to wash and stick in that washing machine, but also harder to put back together. Another issue that I've heard people complain about and DM me about is they find that the corners of their Ruggables flip up or kind of curl up. And I have not had this issue with any of mine. I wasn't sure why until I did a little bit of research and I noticed that Ruggable did change their corners over the last few years. I think they did it in 2019. Couldn't quite get the exact year, but somewhere around there, they added these silicone corners underneath all of the corners of their rug. So that helps weigh down the corners and keep those rugs down. So just maybe if you purchase one before 2020, 2019, you might have more of that issue because the corners don't have those silicone weights. So here's how my new Ruggable runner looks in our entry. Let me know what you think of it down in those comments below. I love the neutral color, the size of it, and the fact that I'm just going to be able to pick up that topper, throw it in the wash, especially now as we're approaching the winter season. We're going to see lots of slush and snow, dirt, and all of that good stuff. I hope I answered all your questions about Ruggables. If you have any more questions about cleaning them, about my experience with them, let me know those down in those comments below as well. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. I'm gonna leave another video about my favorite cleaning hacks right up here for you to watch next.